All right, everybody. So, thanks for clicking on the video. We're rolling up onto the Super Bowl. It's almost going to be here in a few days. And so I thought it'd be fun just to do, I've seen a couple people do their top 10 players, top 15, top 25, for players who might have the most impact / best players heading into Super Bowl 58. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's look at the Chiefs roster. Let's look at the 49ers roster, and let's just rank them. All right, 25, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Number 24, Sky Moore. Number 23, Trent Williams. I mean, he's honestly the best offensive lineman out of both teams. Number 22, Harrison Butker. Out of him and Moody, I think Butker is the better kicker, plus he has the experience of last year's go-ahead game-winning field goal. Number 21, Drew Tranquill. He was one of the top leading tacklers on that Chiefs defense. We got to go with McKinnon for 20. Ward at 19. Number 18, Dre Greenlaw. He has been leading the San Francisco 49ers defense with interceptions this playoff run. 17, Trent McDuffie. 16, Nick Bolton. I still personally think he should have been Super Bowl 57 MVP, but they had to take away that second touchdown. All right, number 15, Deebo Samuel. A lot of people would have him higher on the list. The reason why I have him low on this list is just because of his productivity in this postseason. Yes, he was injured in one of the games, but who knows? This could be a breakout game for him. Number 14, Valdez-Scantling. Number 13, Justin Reed. Number 12, Rashid Rice. It seems that Rice is, Kelsey's obviously Mahomes' security blanket, but if Kelsey's being double teamed and they can't run the ball, Rashid Rice is usually the guy Mahomes goes to. Number 11, a little bit on the outside of the top 10, I put George Kittle, and this is no disrespect to George Kittle. It's just, again, like Deebo, that 49ers offense has run through Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle only has one touchdown in this whole postseason run. And so we never know. This could be a 2-touchdown performance game for him, and he could have a breakout game. But just his impact isn't as great as the other 10 players that I'm about to list. Number 10, George Karlaftis. He was one of the leading tacklers on that Chiefs defense this season with 10.5 sacks, up there with Chris Jones. Number 9, I put Nick Bosa. I mean, the dude is everywhere. I think he's going to get at least 2 sacks in on Patrick Mahomes in this Super Bowl. Number 8 is Brandon Ayuk. He is Brock Purdy's number 1 wide receiver. He had his great game against the Detroit Lions with the lucky catch, but he has become the security blanket Brock Purdy has needed from the wide receiver position. Number 7 is Chris Jones. I don't think Chris Jones is going to be stopped. It's how long can you contain him? I think he might have 1.5, maybe 2 sacks like Nick Bosa on Brock Purdy. Number 6 is Isaiah Pacheco. He's coming to his own as one of the top 10 running backs in the NFL, and especially in this playoff run where he has become the workhorse for the Chiefs offense when they can't get it going through the air. Number 5, I would say, is Fred Warner. He is the most impressive and the most important player on that 49ers defense, leading all-purpose tackles. Number 4, I would say, is Brock Purdy. You want to call him a game manager? Sure. Consider him one of the best game managers. The way he held himself accountable, had that comeback against the Detroit Lions. I hope the moment isn't too big and the spotlight's too big for him, considering this is his second year and his first time in a Super Bowl. I think he could have one of those games where it's 2 through the air, maybe 1 on the ground. But I would say Brock Purdy's the 4th most important player. Number 3, I would say, is Patrick Mahomes. The reason why Patrick Mahomes is the 3rd most important player is because he's Patrick Mahomes. He's taken on that villain identity in this postseason run, and even if his regular season was absolutely terrible and dog water, Patrick Mahomes finds a way to win. He found a way to win in Buffalo. His defense helped him out, and he found a way to win against the Ravens. And so you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, I would say, is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce had an absolute breakout game in the AFC Championship game against the Ravens. He was very quiet there for a stretch during the regular season. But Kelce is back to his old ways where he's scoring touchdowns, and he's Mahomes' number 1 receiver. And so I expect him to have a big game. Versus, and number 1, Taylor Swift. No, I'm just kidding. Get the fetch out of here. Number 1, you got to give it to Christian McCaffrey. I think this game all comes down to Christian McCaffrey and Travis Kelce, and it's going to be a battle between those two. I think Christian McCaffrey easily could have at least 80 to 120 yards in this game. I think it's going to be a 2-touchdown performance. But heading into Super Bowl 58, where we sit right now, Christian McCaffrey is the most important player in the Super Bowl. And if the 49ers want to win, it's got to be on the ground through him. And so that's why I have him as the number 1 player heading into Super Bowl 58. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time.